right now on NBC Connecticut.
No relief from wind chill warnings tomorrow morning to snow Tuesday morning. Wintry details in your first alert forecast.
Dangerously cold. The injuries people are suffering during this bitter winter weather.
Plus, without power on one of the coldest nights of the year. What's being blamed for the outage?
And who's watching you? The troubleshooters investigate how your computer can turn on you. Right now.
NBC Connecticut News starts now.
It is the very bitter end of this first alert weather day, and this vicious cycle of weather isn't through with us yet.
Our team coverage begins with Chief Meteorologist Brad Field. Brad.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news in Milford, where at least one house is destroyed on Melba Street after a fast-moving fire that spread to two others. This all began to unfold just before 2 this afternoon. At one point, more than 2,000 people were without power. NBC Connecticut's Matt Austin is live at the scene with the late-breaking details. Matt?
Now at 11.
From Connecticut to Nepal, local support for the victims in that devastating earthquake that claimed thousands of lives. Waiting it out, where a teen hid this weekend while a burglar broke into her home.
It was a dry weekend, but that changes a bit tomorrow with a rising chance for showers. Your first alert forecast right now.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
Tonight, Connecticut support for victims of the earthquake in Nepal. The death toll now exceeds 3,200 people after that magnitude 7.8 quake. Here's what we know so far. Aftershocks have been hampering the search to find survivors. The quake triggered an avalanche on Mount Everest, killing 18 people, including 2 Americans. NBC Connecticut's Matt Austin is here with more about the effort by Connecticut residents. Matt?
Well, Jeff, for many people in Connecticut, Nepal might seem as if it's a world away. But for about 1,500 people who live in the state and who are from Nepal, almost all of them have a connection to this disaster.
And help is on the way from countries around the world. The U.S. is sending a 70-person disaster assistance response team. Here in Connecticut, Stamford-based AmeriCares is also pitching in. It's already launched a team from India to help in the disaster. Tomorrow, the group will be packaging shipments of medicine and relief supplies at their Stamford warehouse. A Connecticut resident is in Nepal helping in the response. Brad Kerner is the public health director of Save the Children. He arrived about a week ago and says he felt the earthquake strike yesterday. He says it felt like the ground was rolling and he saw people's homes crumbling. Survivors now face a combination of anguish and fear of aftershocks.
I mean, it's quite sad to see Nepalis sleeping in the streets, very frightened. There's been many aftershocks, so even last night we felt 3 while we were sleeping, and I know it's the aftershocks that are re-traumatizing people, making them scared, making them not want to go back into their homes. And so mostly everyone's on the street, and it's quite sad to see people not knowing what to do, hoping the loved ones are, staying close to their loved ones so they know they're safe, and trying to meet their basic needs.
Kerner says his organization is in disaster mode right now and he won't be leaving anytime soon. At this point, the main concern is making sure people's basic needs are met. And if you want to help in the relief response, we have information at our website, nbcconnecticut.com. Just go there and search links. And now over to your first alert weather. Clouds out today, but we're tracking chances of showers. Meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan is here with more. Ryan? A frightening encounter for a teen in this North Haven neighborhood as a burglar breaks into her home and she hides in a closet for safety. Now, this happened about noon yesterday at a home on Quinnipiac Avenue near Montaouise Avenue, and there was one person who saw it all. A storm kills 2 people during a sailboat race in Alabama. Coming up, how many are still missing as the Coast Guard searches? Also, what kind of rude awakening for rapper Lil Wayne just hours after he performed in Atlanta? And the heartwarming moment when a bone marrow donor gets to meet the little boy she's helping to save, all when we come back.
It is a first alert weather day. Much of the state seeing snow, a lot of towns seeing sleet or rain right now as well. A live look at our first alert Doppler radar.
All right, the timing, of course, could not be any worse as thousands of travelers hit the roads. They're all trying to get to their Thanksgiving destinations.
We have live team coverage for you of the impact of today's wintry mess. You see our crews there. They are scattered across the state. Let's start with meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan. How much longer can we expect the snow to keep falling, Ryan?
This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
It is a message of hate. Students at Connecticut College demand change after the latest issue involving racially charged comments. NBC Connecticut's Matt Austin is live on the campus in New London with more. Matt?
We begin with a developing story out of Winsted. One man is still missing after the boat he and two other men were in overturns in the water. This happened around 6 tonight on Highland Lake. NBC Connecticut's Matt Austin has the latest.
It's a story that's still developing in Shelton. A superintendent who's banning certain dresses for prom is standing by the decision and says the whole issue is now being blown out of proportion. Let's go to Amanda Rouse. She's standing by live in Shelton with the latest on this. Amanda?
Breaking news right now on NBC Connecticut at 5. The deaths of at least 7 people whose remains were found in the same place have been ruled the work of a serial killer.
Just moments ago, New Britain police released the new details and identified another victim, Melanie Ruth Camellini.
This is a tragedy. This is a tragedy. It's very sad for these families. It's I'm sure some relief that now they have some answers, but the answers that they have are not good either.
We have team coverage of the story, beginning with NBC Connecticut's Deborah Bogsty, who sat down for an exclusive interview with New Britain's police chief. Deb. The discovery is particularly chilling for people who live and work nearby. The graves are in the woods behind a strip mall on Hartford Road. It's a very busy area right near West Farms. NBC Connecticut's Jamie Ratliff is live there now with more. Jamie.
Again, we interrupt today's show one more time to let you know that there has been a verdict reached in the Aaron Hernandez murder trial. Again, you are looking live right now at the courtroom, Fall River, Massachusetts. Aaron Hernandez is in the courtroom. The jury has reached a verdict. Basically, at this point, it appears likely that the judge is instructing the attorneys and possibly the jury at some point. We're going to listen in right now. Okay, again, waiting for the judge.
Foreperson.
And
on indictment
there's the judge right now.
2013-983-A, charging the defendant Aaron Hernandez with murder. What say you, Madam Foreperson? Is the defendant not guilty, guilty of murder in the first degree, or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Guilty of murder in the first degree.
Madam Foreperson, by which theory or theories deliberate premeditation and or extreme atrocity or cruelty?
Extreme atrocity or cruelty.
Indictment 2013-983-C, charging the defendant Aaron Hernandez with unlawful possession of ammunition. What say you, Madam Foreperson? Is the defendant not guilty or guilty?
Guilty.
You have just been watching breaking news out of Fall River, Massachusetts. Aaron Hernandez found guilty on 3 counts, the most notable first-degree murder. I'm joined now by George Colley. He was up in the courtroom in Fall River, Massachusetts for much of the last week, if not all of last week. George, what is your reaction? And in 20 minutes or so, the jury is then going to be spoken to again, I believe, by the judge, and they're going to talk about sentencing. We're going to keep you posted on that sentencing throughout the course of the morning. Again, we're expecting that in 20 minutes or so. But again, breaking news here, NBC Connecticut. Aaron Hernandez found guilty of the murder of Odin Lloyd. More on NBC Connecticut, online and on TV.
Right now on NBC Connecticut News at 5:30, guilty on all charges. Today, a jury convicted Bristol native Aaron Hernandez in the 2013 murder of Odin Lloyd.
About an hour later, a judge handed down his sentence. The former New England Patriot will be going to prison for the rest of his life.
Now, after his sentencing, the victim's family spoke with reporters outside the courthouse.
NBC Connecticut's George Colley's been covering the story since the beginning. Here now with the latest.
Thanks, George. Aaron Hernandez lived in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, where the conviction is hitting close to home for his neighbors. Danielle Waugh continues our team coverage now from Massachusetts.
Team coverage of the guilty verdict for Aaron Hernandez continues at 6. You can also follow the latest updates through our Twitter page and news app.
Other news, the new information about a hit and run that killed a 23-year-old new mother. Police have identified a vehicle of interest in the case. They say, take a look here, this white van was seen on South Street at the time of the crash. NBC Connecticut's Amy Parmenter's live in Danbury near the scene with the story. Amy.
We begin with your first alert forecast right now at 5. The Arctic blast moving across the country is just hours away from making it here to Connecticut.
We could even see a few snow showers as the temperatures plunge. First alert meteorologist Ryan Hanrahan is here with more. Ryan. All right, Ryan, thanks so much. The Arctic blast is also delaying flights. Take a look at this time-lapse video from Denver International Airport. Flights were delayed about an hour because of snow and de-icing. Temperatures were forecast to be around 0 degrees for much of the day. Up to 5 inches of snow are expected there. Meantime, in Michigan, people are cleaning up from a huge snowstorm. Look at this scene on the state's Upper Peninsula, where they almost got 3 feet of snow in 36 hours. Other areas got anywhere from the upper teens to 20 inches.
Here at home, officials in New Haven say they are ready to clear snow off the city streets. Amanda Rouse is working on that story. It's coming up in just a couple of minutes.
In the meantime, we do have some new developments in a case that's made headlines. A Ridgefield father faces a judge for the first time. He's accused of leaving his 15-month-old son in a hot car over the summer, which led to the child's death. NBC Connecticut's Amy Parmenter is live outside Danbury Court with new information. Amy.
First alert weather day right now on NBC Connecticut News, a special edition at 4 p.m. The blizzard of 2015 is moving into the state.
All right, here's what we know so far. A statewide travel ban will be in effect starting at 9 tonight. The governor says as many as 100,000 customers could lose power in this blizzard, but the state's trying to be proactive. More than 600 crews have been out on the roads treating the highways today. Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Lee Mayland.
I'm Brad Drazen. We have team coverage of the blizzard of 2015 for you over the next 2.5 hours, so get comfortable. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Brad Field. Brad, when will we really start seeing the flakes start flying across the state?
All right, looking for a new type of thrill this summer. Maybe Six Flags New England now boasts a new hybrid roller coaster, and it feels like we're on it.
It's called the Wicked Cyclone. I'm sick to my stomach.
Put my hands in the air.
The roller coaster. It has a special combination of steel and wood. It's one of only 5 hybrid coasters on Earth. It reaches 10 stories high and travels at one point as fast as 55 miles per hour. I think it'd be more fun in person than the virtual version when it's like playing behind you.
Pretty good. I'm getting a little nauseous there just watching that.
I just wanted to go, woo!
Right? We also would like to thank the band, the cheerleaders, you guys for coming out and supporting us in Tampa. Thank you guys. Keeping the gym hopping before the game.
This is the UConn Women's Victory Rally on campus in stores, wrapping up what has been a fantastic 24 hours for the University of Connecticut.
Absolutely. You know, it's easy to get used to being a champion. A lot of people turning out to throw their support there. It's been a lot of hard work. Yeah, we're getting used to the wins, but they certainly worked hard to get where they are, and a lot of fun. Obviously going to be had on campus tonight. We'll continue to follow this. Keep it right here. Check our apps. Check online as well. We'll be back on air right after this. All right, a funny moment during Election Day coverage with Tom Brokaw last night. You may have seen this. He was offering live analysis on MSNBC when a noise kind of filled the studio. Turns out that noise was Brokaw's cell phone. Take a look.
Mitch McConnell, well, could that be me?
No, it's not you. It's something ambient.
No, I'm afraid it is, unfortunately. The alarm goes off, and there you are.
I thought you were a fire. Yeah.
Yes, I will remember to bring home the milk and right. And don't worry about it, and I'll feed the dog in the morning. Just sleep in. It's going to be okay. I'm sorry about that.
He played off that well. The goof went viral, making the rounds on social media, even trending a little while. Check out our website, NBCConnecticut.com, for more Election Day news. We have a section on our homepage with all the results from our local races.